sometimes there are overlaps with recruiters and HR professionals, which causes people to believe that they are just the same. Hey guys, Recruiter Preston here. Welcome to another video. Some people believe that human resources, aka HR, and recruiting are the same thing. Well, I'm here to tell you that this is not necessarily the case. Although recruiters and human resources can overlap each other in a few areas, however, there are several distinctions in what each can do for a company. So in today's video, we will talk about the differences between human resources and recruiting. But before we get started, please support a fellow recruiter, give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. It really gives us the motivation to keep making these videos for you all. So what is recruiting? I will keep this brief since those who have watched my previous videos may already know what recruiting means. But for those who are new, well, here's a quick definition. Recruiting is a process of identifying, sourcing, evaluating, and then hiring qualified individuals for specific job positions. Recruiters have such significance in a company's success, as they should. The main goal of a recruiter is to really hire the most qualified candidate for the job. They can figure out a company's employment needs and know how to find talent and fill those roles really quickly. So what is human resources? Human resources, or HR for short, is a department within a company that centers attention on the employees that work for the company. They handle employee needs and concerns that come to light and find resolutions. This department consists of a team of professionals that manage employee payroll, benefits, hiring, training, and termination. The main goal of a human resource department is to create a positive workplace environment by providing the resources and support to employees when necessary. So you might be able to tell in both definitions that recruiters and human resources really have a similar goal of helping people. As I mentioned before, sometimes there are overlaps with recruiters and HR professionals, which causes people to believe that they are just the same. So how exactly are they different? Let's talk about the 4 key differences between human resources and recruiting. One of the most obvious differences between human resources and recruiting is their overall job function and scope. Human resources is responsible for developing and retaining employees, whereas the recruiting, they're responsible for attracting new employees for open positions. So in case you're curious, the top 10 main responsibilities of human resources are recruiting and hiring, fostering a safe work environment, managing employee retentions, administering payroll, managing compensation benefits packages, handling disciplinary needs, ensuring compliance with labor laws and regulations, overseeing training programs, supporting employee development, and assisting employee. Some common HR job titles that you've heard of are benefits administrator, employee relations manager, human resources assistant, human resource director, human resources specialist, and many, many more. The top 10 main responsibilities of a recruiter are determining staff needs, creating recruitment strategies, screening resumes, performing reviews, coordinating interviews, conducting company assessments, finding the best candidates, challenging biases, attending job fairs and hiring events, and communicating necessary information to candidates. For the most part, recruiters and HR professionals usually work within the human resource department. Depending on the company, there can be a crossover with HR professionals taking on recruitment responsibilities. How they interact with employees. Human resources and recruiters both interact with employees, but at a different stage of the hiring process. For recruiters, the interaction begins as soon as they contact a qualified candidate to seek their interest in an open position, almost acting like the first-line gatekeepers. The interaction continues throughout the entire recruitment process. Recruiters have to maintain the relationships with candidates to keep them engaged and help prepare them for an interview. After the candidate is interviewed and hired by the company, that's when human resources come in. What makes the candidate interaction different from recruiters, though, is that it's at the next level of the hiring process. Oftentimes, human resources will interact with a potential candidate if they're conducting the final round interview. Most of the time, the interactions with the employee really starts during the actual official onboarding stage. They get payroll set up, offer employee benefits, etc. Human resources are responsible for coordinating new hire training for employees joining the company. They maintain that relationship with the employee by ensuring that they are happy and a long-time contributor, hopefully, to the organization. Qualifications and salary. So to work in human resources, some companies require candidates to acquire a combination of education and years of related work experience. According to Glassdoor.com, the national average salary for an entry-level position in human resources is $51,296 in the US. Depending on the job a candidate wants to pursue, it will determine the level of education needed in order to be qualified. As an example, if you want to become a human resources manager, then you would really want to consider pursuing a master's degree in human resources management or in business administration, as that could help. Similar to HR, most recruiters obtain a bachelor's degree. Zippia.com found that 68.7% of recruiters have a bachelor's degree. However, you will find that recruiters come from a diverse educational backgrounds such as computer science, communication, health administration, or psychology. In addition, you don't necessarily have to have work experience to become a recruiter. By the way, check out my past videos where I actually provide tips on how to start a career as a recruiter with zero experience that you may find helpful. We also found on Glassdoor.com that the national average salary for a recruiter is $51,425 per year in the United States. To work in recruitment, what companies are looking for is someone with strong communication skills and have a general knowledge of labor and employment laws. Employment type. In the world of recruiting, there are two types of recruiters, generally speaking: internal recruiters and external recruiters. Internal recruiter or in-house recruiter are full-time employees that work in human resources or the people department that handle recruiting and hiring duties of the company. They work with hiring managers and get their feedback to source, screen, and interview candidates for the specific company that they're working at. An external recruiter, also known as a third party, is a professional that works independently and finds qualified candidates for open roles. This type of recruiter normally doesn't work for a singular company. Instead, they get hired by various organizations and work with hiring managers to find the best talent to hire. For the most part, companies are hiring more external recruiters or recruiting agencies because they can select from more candidates outside of the company and it keeps them in competition. As for human resources, this is just a department within a company or organization. The HR team members are full-time employees who work in that department at the company's office or organizational structure. However, recently companies are outsourcing administrative HR responsibilities like payroll, benefits, recruiting, exit interviews, office policies, and more. This can allow extra time for the department to create helpful programs that bring positive value to employees and the business. Any company, regardless of whether they are big or small, should have recruiters and a human resource department. They are part of the same team with the goal of helping people. HR and recruiters are a fundamental part of a company. The different workflows and expertise drive improvement of employee satisfaction and ensure the right candidates are getting the support that they need. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Tell me in the comments below if you've worked in HR, recruiting, or both, and what you liked and didn't like about both respective careers. If you like this, want to see more like it, feel free to give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. It really helps out a fellow recruiter. Feel free to also follow me as I try my best to also post behind the scenes content daily. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you on the next one.